Everybody's not back from Vegas yet, huh?
They might not ever come back.
How you guys doing today?
Congrats on the award. Is that a big deal to you and being on all the list of big, great coaches?
Yeah, it's obviously it's pretty cool, to be recognized. I think it's a culmination of what the entire defensive staff and the players in the locker room. It's just a reflection of what they've been able to do up to this point this season, and to be recognized for the hard work that they've put in thus far is nice. It's cool to get recognized.
What did you see after that first drive, and how were you guys able to so quickly turn the page after that scoring drive they had to start?
You got to give credit to Michigan. Like, not only do they have really, really good players, they got a really good staff, and they got a great scheme, and they challenge you with your reads and your keys, and so once we were able to sort of sit back and find out what the issues were in the run game specifically. Our guys kind of settled into it. Obviously, that tailback is a great player. Like I said, they got a great roster over there, and couple that with really good coaches. It was challenging. It was you had to be on high alert and really attention to detail and focused on assignment and clear communication in order to get a stop. And so I was proud of the way our guys were able to do that and settle into the game after that first drive.
Screens have kind of been an issue a little bit the last few weeks. What's the key to getting that cleaned up, even this late in the season?
Yeah, obviously they're just a recognition, one, and two, like we've been caught in specific calls when we've seen those screens that have worked, right? And there's not a defense out there that can stop every play. If there was, I call it all the time, right? But there are some things that we can do from a technique and an eye progression standpoint to help us out there. And there's also, opportunities for me to give them a better call, a more advantageous call in certain situations where screens may come up.
With a lot of those screens, like they've been kind of delayed, I guess, so the quarterback kind of waits a bit or two. Does that kind of make it, I guess, harder to react or defend, if that makes sense?
No, like we're starting to see them out of certain formations, or getting to certain formations. And so obviously without divulging too much information on how we'll combat that, we feel like we've come up with some good answers. And obviously, like I said, there have been times where we've gotten a screen called out of that certain formation in different calls where it's not been an issue. So, I can be smarter and more strategic about how aggressive or when I'm aggressive in a play call to help us out in those situations.
How would you evaluate how your young corners did on Saturday?
Oh shoot, man! You look at Xavier Scott. I thought he played his tail off. He basically was a starter. In 11 personnel, and for his first start to be at the Big House against the number 3 team in the country, and to play the way he did, I was really, really proud of him. I knew he would play well, just having a week's worth of practice at the position he was actually going to play on a Saturday. Same with Quan. I thought he did an awesome job. Again, it just shows the flexibility that those guys have from a position standpoint, and the value that they bring to us defensively, being able to move them around and their mental aptitude and mental makeup and football IQ to be able to switch positions in a week's time, and the whole game plan was available. I didn't have to change calls or change the way I would have called the game had we had our traditional starters out there, and that's a testament to the work that they put in and the type of athletes that they are.
Say about Aaron Henry to get those guys, and you've been together with him for 2 years, but to have those guys ready in those moments.
Yeah, Aaron's a great, phenomenal coach. He's not only is he a great coach, he's a great leader. Guys really are drawn to him and want to play well for him. I think he's a coordinator in the making. He's young, he's energetic, and he's a high character, high football IQ, much like everybody on the staff. Can't speak enough about the job he's done with that room, and obviously you see Spoon the way he's playing. I don't know if there's a better corner in the country, that is playing at the level he's playing at, and the physicality with which he plays.
Spoon, back-to-back weeks, kind of critical timing on those. Is there anything, we asked last week, but as you bounce, I'm sure there's some frustration involved in the
Yeah.
calls, but like, how do you teach through those moments? Or
Tell him to do the same. Sorry, you tell him to do the same thing every time. You know. Yeah. I wouldn't have played that if I'm him. I wouldn't have played that any different. Back-to-back weeks. That's he's playing with proper technique. He's being aggressive. He's fighting for the football. You live with that.
Xavier Neri kind of looking at replacing other guys in the secondary possibly after this year. What does it mean for him, not only for now, but for the next couple years, going to get this kind of experience?
Yeah, it's huge. You can't. I think experience is something that you can't teach, right? You got to go through it. You got to live through moments, and sometimes your failures are your best teachers. And you can't. It's hard to fabricate experience, and so to get real in-game experience at a stage like that, at a point in the season like that, and in a meaningful game, I think that'll pay dividends. Come next year and in the years following.
The way your spies played, because it didn't seem like McCarthy was able to take off when things broke down the way he normally has in previous weeks.
Yeah, it was. That was a point of emphasis on keeping him in the pocket and forcing him to escape to his left. We made him do that a couple times, and we knew that he wasn't comfortable going that way and still throwing the ball. And so I thought our guys did a good job of keeping him in the pocket, and when he did escape, getting him down quickly. I mean, he's a great athlete and a hard guy to bring down, and he was able to extend some plays and keep some drives going. But I thought our guys did a really good job of trying to contain him.
From the defensive standpoint, what did it mean for you guys to have Coach Bielema there? And I know last week was tough on him. What did it mean for you guys to see him and have him around and all that?
Yeah, I mean, he's our leader. It's he's the face of the program, and we go as he goes. I thought it was important for him to be there just to so that we could feel the raw human emotion, and he's a person, or he's a human being just like everybody else, and so to see that genuineness and to feel what he was feeling, and to be able to support him in that time, I thought was important for our staff and our players. And Coach B did an awesome job. He was present in that moment, and he was strategic in the game, and never once did you feel like he wasn't present and wasn't there. So I thought it was huge. I don't think we played the way we played unless Coach B is there.
All good. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. You guys almost made me say my first curse word.